What's up, everyone? Dimebot here, and welcome back to Flight Sim and Favorite Places to Fly. Today we are taking a request. We had a comment. Favorite places to fly in Missouri? Question mark. Yeah, favorite places to fly in Missouri. Now, we've done St. Louis before, so I decided I didn't want to do that. And as I was looking around, I saw a giant lake. And as you all know, I have an obsession with lakes. So we're going to be checking out Lake of the Ozarks. It is a reservoir created by impounding the Osage River, Osage, not sure how to say that one. Wasn't able to find a useful pronunciation guide, so we're not going to say that word again. Anyways, this is a big, very interestingly shaped lake. Let's go ahead and get flying. All right, looks like we got some nice weather here. Now, there are several airports scattered around this lake, so take your pick, guys. I have chosen one that should place us relatively near the dam. I'm going to be heading to the northeast for that after we rotate here. Now, the lake itself is going to be really obvious once we gain some altitude. Now, one of the first things I want to talk about, and we're going to pull up the EFB a lot sooner than we normally would here. This lake has a very interesting shape. See it here, Lake of the Ozarks. Boop, 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 boop. It has been called the Missouri Dragon because of this shape. So what you're looking at there is a lake with a surface area of about 220 square kilometers and about 1,150 miles or 1,850 kilometers of shoreline. The main channel that you saw there stretches 92 miles, 148 kilometers from one end to the other. Total drainage on this thing is 14,000 square miles or 36,000 square kilometers. And this lake has been here for quite a while, comparatively speaking. First pursued by a developer from Kansas City named Ralph Street in 1912. He ran out of funding in the mid-1920s. But the dam, the Bagnell Dam, which we should be headed toward, was created by Union Electric Company of St. Louis, Missouri. Construction began in 1929, completed in 1931. The lake reached spillway elevation on May 20th, 1931, and 10 days later it officially opened to boat traffic. Then we're just following this arm up. Now, I have seen some varying reports about how many towns and things were displaced by the construction of this dam. I have seen more than 20 towns, villages, and settlements, but from doing a little cursory research, it seems like the number was actually closer to 8. So, some settlements that were claimed to have been taken out by the lake were previously abandoned or were high enough ground that they weren't actually affected, so always going to have to check that kind of thing. And just imagine how much shoreline there is here. Imagine this waterfront real estate goes for a pretty penny, too. We should be coming up on a dam here. The dam itself, 2,543 feet long. That's just shy of 800 meters. And it is still operating according to everything I can find. And there it is down below us. I'm not quite sure about that boat. The sim has a tendency to put super yachts literally everywhere. Still, it's a very, very interesting lake. So let's look at some other interesting facts about this lake. So during land acquisition for the lake in the 20s, 17,500 acres of land were set aside for a national park along the Grand Glaze arm of the lake. And this got acquired by the state for the Lake of the Ozarks State Park, which is the state's largest park, in 1946. Lake of the Ozarks State Park is also home to Party Cove. And we're going to get fancy here. A New York Times writer called it the oldest established permanent floating bacchanal in the country. You know you're fancy when you're using the word bacchanal and doing it unironically. There is an amusement park called Oasis at Lake Point, planned to open in 2026. And there is also a casino in the works. If it doesn't get rejected by voters, I haven't been able to find a update on that. You can also find powerboat races hosted on the lake every summer, right around Labor Day. And on the last Saturday of February every year, the Lake of the Ozarks has a polar bear plunge as a fundraiser for Special Olympics Missouri. Polar bear plunge, if you're not aware, is when crazy people go jump in super cold water because they're crazy. And not throwing stones, I've done a few myself. Just people who do polar bear plunges are not right in the head. I'm going to take a look at the lake there. It really is very, very interesting on the map. So guys, that'll do it for the day. Very, very interesting spot. I will try to temper my obsession with the lakes and do something that's not a lake in coming episodes. But thank you for the request. And if you guys would like to make a request, like and subscribe. Leave it in the comments below. It really helps the channel out. And if you are here to the end, watch Time Ski on YouTube. Thank you for helping me feed the algorithm. I'm Dan Butt. I'll see you guys next time.